we've had a good bit of discussion yesterday and today over partisanship and over the about the relationship between us here in the Senate. And I certainly associate myself with everyone's expression of concern that we protect, preserve, and enhance the respectful and cooperative culture that we all came to in the Senate. It was there before we got here, and we need to bring it on to our successors. And I also, frankly, had yesterday and have today great sympathy with my Republican colleagues about the speed of this. I understand. I felt personally the urgency of the problems facing our people made it important that we move quickly on this, but I understand why my colleagues were upset about it. That was yesterday on the procedure, on the timing. Today we're dealing with the substance. And I think it's important for us to remember that as important as our relationships with each other are, this isn't about us. This is not about us. This is about the people of Maryland. And it's really a wonderful irony that my colleague from the 33rd District introduced a group from Severna Park High School, because as I sat here and was checking my emails, I got an email at 10:52 this morning from an attorney who lives in Severna Park, and I'm going to read the email to you. Although I am a resident of District 33, I want to thank you for your support of Maryland Attorney General and sponsorship of the Maryland Defense Act. As an attorney and as a human, I have been horrified by the actions of the executive branch over the past 2 weeks and believe that Maryland must use every tool at its disposal to protect the interests of all of its residents, including with respect to immigration, public education, and the protection of our environment. Thank you for your efforts. This individual is not an immigrant. This individual is not someone worried about being deported. This is not someone worried about being able to get into the country with the chaos that the Trump administration created over the past 2 weeks. This is an average Anne Arundel County American. Very much like the people that I met at the Piney Orchard Shopping Center in my district in Anne Arundel 2 weeks ago. I had mobile office hours in the shopping center where people come out, talk to you, scream at you, ask for help, whatever it is. We all do that sort of thing. The overwhelming number of questions I got 2 weeks ago in Piney Orchard, Anne Arundel County, Maryland, was, what are you doing to protect us, to protect people in Maryland from what President Trump is trying to do? One of those people was a senior executive in a healthcare company who knew exactly, I don't think she knew as much as the chair of Finance Committee does, but she knew a whole lot more than I did about exactly what was being proposed in terms of undermining Medicare, undermining Medicaid, undermining the Affordable Care Act. And she was very scared. And then there's a gentleman who works for the National Security Agency. Many people in that part of Anne Arundel County work in the intelligence community, work in the military. And he was afraid, not for himself, not for his health insurance, he was scared for his country. Because he saw, as we all did, the way President Trump treated the heroes in our intelligence community. And he said, what is the governor doing about this? They asked me, what is Governor Hogan doing about this? And they also asked me, what is our Attorney General doing about this? They said, I see Attorney Generals in other states are intervening or standing up or fighting back. Where is our Attorney General? So he's a former colleague of ours. I called him. And I called him that afternoon. I said, I got questions from my constituents. What are you doing? And he said, I believe we should intervene in that catastrophe at the airports, at the border crossings. And I've asked the governor's permission to intervene on behalf of the people of Maryland. I I said, what do you say? I've got no response. So I said, wow. So I came back, talked to colleagues, and the bill we have before us today, not my initiative at all, but I found out that we were going to try to make sure that our Attorney General could represent our people's interests. It's terrific that the Attorney General of Washington State is protecting Marylanders. But the interests of the people of Maryland are not going to be always exactly the same as the interests of the people of Washington State. In every situation, in a business, individual, in a legal situation, we've got many very distinguished lawyers present. All of us are clients at one time or another lawyer. You need your own lawyer. You don't rely on the other guy's lawyer. You rely on your lawyer. And that's really what this bill is about. There's been a lot of talk in this debate about human rights, about health care. Something we haven't talked as much about are the economic interests of our people. A week ago, President Trump issued an executive order to try to undermine the entire Dodd-Frank law, which was designed to clean up Wall Street. It was less than 10 years ago, that Marylanders lost jobs, Marylanders lost savings, Marylanders lost their homes because of the international financial crisis. And so Congress came together and said, no more, no more. We're going to protect our economy, we're going to protect our financial institutions, we're going to protect the security of our people. Think about if the Trump administration did to our financial system what they did to our visa system 3 weeks ago. Do you remember when Lehman Brothers went bankrupt? Do you remember when people's 401ks were wiped out? Retirement savings, jobs, thrown out of their homes? That was less than a decade ago. That is the danger that only one part of the Trump agenda has. Unleash the wolves of Wall Street again. So there are many reasons to pass this bill. I would leave you with this thought, is, again, our friends on the other side have tried to partisanize this issue, and I understand that. Absolutely. I frankly was surprised that my colleagues on the other side wanted to partisanize it, because this isn't about a difference of parties. This is about Maryland. I was surprised, frankly, when the governor wouldn't work with the Attorney General to stand up for Marylanders. I think the governor and the Attorney General should be working together in a nonpartisan manner for Maryland. My friend from the 37th District, I think, gave a great example. He talked about the FBI. The implication of what my friend said was that the Trump administration would violate federal procurement rules to keep jobs away from Maryland for partisan political reasons. That is exactly why we need our Attorney General to be able to go to court to make sure that this president, Donald Trump, obeys all the laws, not just the visa laws, the financial protection laws, the environmental laws, and the federal procurement laws, so partisanship on the part of the Trump administration doesn't destroy jobs in Maryland. So with that, Mr. President, I appreciate the body's attention and urge my friends of both parties all over this floor to come together in this fight for Maryland jobs, Maryland health care, Maryland's environment, and Maryland's future.